All right. Transparency in the chair, let me tell you, has nothing to do with hair, but stories that derive from the chair.
My name is Rae. My co-pilot is Kay. We are two hairstylists with over 50 years of combined industry experience, ownership, platform artistry, salon education, and mentorship. We are both two sages that have stories to tell.
All right, and you know how juicy it can get. It could be any chair. Think about any chair that you sit on. There's a story in the chair.
With authentic and transparent moments, we are bringing you the juice to you, along with our perspectives, of course.
This is what we're bringing to you every week with confidence and knowledge and nuggets that you will leave this podcast with so much inner feelingness, so much knowledge, so much power, empowerment. So tune in every week and we're going to drop the nuggets on you with special guests from time to time. So don't miss out. Join in to Transparency in the Chair. Welcome. Hey, girl.
Hey.
What's up, ladies?
Right. Hey, guys, we have been out.
We have been in the streets.
Outside. And I'm just excited to be here.
I am too.
I'm good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good to see
Good to see you
Yes,
too.
I know.
Usually
Man, I'm
everybody's
so
like, who's
Yes.
that male voice?
I know.
I'm on
Excited.
this side now.
Yes.
I'm on this side now.
So, yes, guys, we have a lot to unpack today. Just hitting it from a different perspective. Our mission is always to bring you the juice, the tea, and a different perspective on how we think about certain topics and views and all of that.
Yes.
Today...
Yes. And I love the fact, I didn't even interject on that, but I do love the fact that you give the men an opportunity also. So I'm very appreciative
Yes.
of when you guys are like, hey, what do you think
Right.
about how everything goes?
So all you people out there that's been watching us from the beginning, we, like I said, we appreciate you, and that male voice that you hear every so often, you finally get to put a face with a voice.
Sorry, ladies, I'm not 6'7". I apologize. I apologize on that.
Yeah.
You know, but now I can finally
Yes.
toast it
Toast up.
Well, let's start it off right.
Yes.
On the lady.
Yes.
Right.
I love
So
it. I
this
love
is
it.
our guy, Johnathan, the voice that y'all always wondering, who is the guy in the back?
Who is that? Who
This
is that
is
dude?
Johnathan. And we
Yes.
had to get him on today because
Thank you.
we want to talk about, we always talk about how women are affected by things and all of that and how do women put it all together.
Right.
But nobody ever talks about how do the males get the work-life balance and what does that look like and how does it work,
That's a tough one.
from a male perspective. So Johnathan is a very busy person. I mean, almost as busy as ourselves here.
Right.
As hairstylists.
Yeah. And I think that's something we can relate to because
Absolutely.
it's
Right.
like business owners, like trying to get your own thing going. So
Exactly.
like, I definitely, there's parallels
Yes.
to what we do.
Yes.
Right. So we definitely want to tune in on that to get the advice and the know-how of how do you do what you do, Jonathan. I mean, tell them what you do.
We got to give them the title.
Yes.
The title of today's episode is
Let them know. What is it?
Work-Life Balance from a Male Perspective. And I do want to chime in and give a little accolade. We need to toot our horn and ring the bell. Toot, toot. Toot, toot. Sister, we've been doing this for a year now.
A year.
Hey.
So, hey.
Stand it up,
And the
stand it
first,
The best snack boxes in the game.
The
Best snack boxes in the game.
Yes, Miss Rachel always gives us good snacks.
it.
I'm always giving the good cocktails so
that
we
is
can
a
keep this thing
combo.
going.
Yes.
It makes us sing and laugh and be transparent with you
Yes,
guys.
very.
Absolutely.
So listen, let's get into
Yeah,
it.
let's get into
Our very
it.
first episode we aired back in January 24th of 2024.
crazy.
Yes.
124, you know, we
wild.
love numbers.
124, 24.
124 was work-life balance.
Right.
But now we're giving them the flip from a male's point of view. So let's get into it.
Yes.
Yes. How are we going to start this thing off?
Yeah. And,
Well-
and to the title of your thing,
Yes.
it's always an asterisk for me because this is probably like the most difficult thing for me
Really?
for like the past like almost 10 years.
Really?
Yes, it's something.
Do
It's
tell.
it's not women. It's none of that.
Yeah.
You know, married almost 15 years. But it's just been where I get horse blinders. I'm so focused
Yeah.
on a goal that sometimes I forget. Like, oh shit, I haven't took my wife out on a date in like 4 months,
Right.
3 months.
Right.
And for myself, and I don't know if you ladies do this, but it's where like I know I'm starting to slip up when my wife starts like throwing little jabs. I call them anger punches or attention punches.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, I thought we were good.
Right.
We're on this good happy coaster.
Yeah.
And now we're hitting that loop to loop kind of
the
moment.
loop. Okay.
Yeah, the
And
loop.
see, I was going to say go down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it already did the already going up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, something's going on. I go, was it something I posted? Was it something I said?
Right, yeah, I do that too.
You know, I'm starting like rewinding.
Process of elimination.
Did I tell my girl something weird last week?
Like, was I talking to my sleep?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
But it's where I'm like, damn, okay, I'm messing up. And for myself, I always take it that it's my fault. Like whatever's happening in our relationship, is my fault. Now, it could be very different perspective on a woman's side with that. But for myself, I really look at it. If things aren't going right, I'm number one to blame.
Right.
Even if someone's like, well, why, she's being like this, this, I think it's just a result of what I've been putting out on there. So when I'm starting to see like some anger or being cold or distant with certain things, I'm like, what did I do?
What did I do? Right.
What did I do?
And that's crazy. Well, I'm not going to say crazy.
Yeah.
I would say that's very adult of you because most guys will start blame shifting. Oh, well, you know, well, you the one doing da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Right. So
the way that shifted for me was the minute I started thinking like that is when I started seeing good things happen where I'm like, okay, I see that if I am giving attention to her and I recognize it, and it's not just, oh, I'm supposed to give her attention. No, it's like I genuinely want to give her attention.
Of course.
I start to see the reciprocated factor of that.
Right.
You know? Yeah. I'm like, oh, you just putting your hand on my arm. Like, oh, I'm proud of you, baby. This and this. I'm like, oh, I like this.
Right.
Okay. But then work hits me, boom, again. And I need that reminder again. But I'm trying to...
How you remind yourself?
So now it's been where I'm like, okay, I give myself like a 2-week checkup, almost like a damn doctor visit.
That's good.
I'm like, okay, is everything good? And also just trying to just stay in communication with my wife, which sounds insane. You're like, you should be talking to your wife every day.
Yeah, that's
that
good.
is legit.
So there's some times where like I get so work focused, I don't communicate. It's just more or less like when I get home, like, hey, what's up, babe? But nothing during the day, nothing like that. And sometimes I forget that sometimes she likes that. Just like, oh, hey, but just wanted to see how you're doing.
Right.
That's it.
Oh.
You know? But sometimes I don't, and I'm like, she'll say some, and you know, I'm ruthless. Like a little firecracker, little firecracker.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm like, damn, you hit me with the left hook.
Yeah.
Really hard. Like, damn, okay. The hell did I do? Oh, shit.
Right.
But then I'm like, okay, it's coming from a place of love. I just got to recognize that.
Right.
And then I got to figure out, like, okay, let's go do something.
Right.
So I always tell homies of mine where they're like, does it ever stop? Like,
Does whatever stop.
just trying to like woo your girl, woo your wife, your partner. Never. It never stops. Because I always tell them, she knows all your tricks. She knows all your stories. You got to be consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like
it's just like continuing education.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got to, no matter how long you've been in the game.
As an educator, I got to keep, even with my students, I got to like make them learn how to pivot when need be.
Exactly. Exactly. So, okay, who in your relationship, who is the one that says, hey, babe, we haven't been out in a while, we need to go do something? Is it only you? Is it mainly you, or is it your husband?
What's the scale on that?
I would say I'm a little Johnathan-ish myself with the tunnel vision.
Absolutely.
I am the one that, you know, all day it's like, oh, shoot, I ain't picked up the phone and talked to the man. I done seen, and there's missed calls on my phone from the husband. And I'm so engulfed in the work, you know? And so I'll be like, okay, I'm calling back as soon as I get this client done or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I definitely can relate to what you're saying. And it sounds weird that you're saying it because
I know, it does.
I am the same parallel in that. And so it's really my husband that really does that because, again, I'm so tunnel vision. By the time I get off, I'm thinking about, ooh, that good shower.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Or I'm a foodie. What restaurant can I go eat at? Even before I get home, you know, whatever. Yeah. So I definitely am trying to be better at that in this year, in this season, because at the end of the day, what are we working so hard for?
Right.
If we're not enjoying ourselves.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
You know, that's a good point.
And the family and stuff like that. And we do get caught up in that rat trap of get up, go to work, take a shower, come back home, go again. And the cycle repeats itself over and over and over again.
Right.
And then so now it's like, to your point, it's like, hey, we're getting older. What are we doing? You know?
Absolutely.
So, and then I hear the stories in my chair.
Oh, I bet you do.
I hear a lot of stories. It's a lot of single females out here, guys. And the stories that I'm hearing, it's like, so I'm like, it makes you appreciate what you have at the house because it's like, dang, y'all dealing with that out there?
Right.
You mean like the love bombing?
Yeah. It's wild that you say that because we, from all the shows and everything, recapping that, and she got to kind of see. I think when I started really having her come into like my work life, as far as me. So for those that don't know, I'm an educator. Like I teach DJing lessons for age ranges from like 10 to 40 to 50 on there, all walks of life. And it's been my passion I've been doing it almost 25 years. I've been doing it.
He loves it.
And I love
does, he
it.
does.
And I think it's the sense of, it's even tougher when you really like what you do. Because sometimes I've asked her like, hey, would you not trip as much as say if it was like a job I didn't like, but I still was hustling, bustling?
Right.
Like on the 9 to 5, and I came in with my shoulders slumped in, and I'm like, I'm just trying to do this for you, babe, but I really hate this.
Right.
Would you not give me as much hell
Right.
than something that I do like?
And that's
And it kind of tripped her up on there, because it's like,
that's legit.
yeah, it's a tough thing, because it's like, because I like what I do, I'm willing to do like 15 hours of that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was something I didn't do.
Right.
I'm like, I can't wait to get up out of here.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's crazy because that you said that, because
I wonder if you have that
sometimes
feeling. Like,
I wish that, I think my husband think that I just be having a good time at work all the time. You know,
that's how she thinks.
as a hairdresser, it's kind of like, oh, okay, you're gonna go do somebody's hair or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is fun work.
Yes.
At the same time, it doesn't seem like work when you really love it.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm like, yeah, because then sometimes we even go into the, but you don't do what I do, Kay. You don't understand.
You don't understand.
I'm over here jumping out trucks and this and the other, and I'm sitting there like, but I really wish that you could spend the day at my job to see all the things that goes on.
Because one thing they don't, I can relate, of course, I'm a hairstylist as well. One thing that my husband doesn't realize is I'm catering to the client all the time.
Yeah.
Transparency in the chair. They ready to talk. When they get in the seat, they haven't seen me in a week or two, they catching up. And they want my undivided attention.
Absolutely.
Undivided. They don't want you to be and especially not on the phone, caking on the phone, right?
Right.
So I had to explain that to my husband very early on. And two, transparent moment.
Knocking them out today. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't like talking on the phone.
You know what? I don't know if I don't like it.
I'm not a big texter. I'm a phone call.
I mean, because I got to do this.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
So
hold on, let me get my earpiece.
No, but that's crazy because I do this so much. My coworker said, "I'm sick of you with this phone to the ear."
Shoulder
She
leaning
went
all
and
day.
bought me some daggone earbuds.
Oh, okay.
And
I love it.
Listen to me, I don't like them. Because it still hurts my ear.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so
it's a difference.
It is, and I'm like, and sometimes people are like, "Hey, what? I can't." They still can't hear you,
and then you can't hear yourself because it kind of mutes your ear too.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So you can't hear what's going on.
Right. So even in that, and I do realize, I'll be like, okay, I'll give you a hot 3 minutes, and then I'll be like, okay, let me call you back because,
and not only that, I think it's more so. Okay, so I don't like talking on the phone, but I think it's more so talking to people that's not talking about nothing. Like what we doing?
Because
I've had that.
Yeah.
You know, even the spouse.
Yeah.
Because
then I feel bad trying to do. I'm trying to. You have that like exit phone conversation template in your brain. All right, but I gotta go. I got my client. She got to do something.
Have y'all seen those memes that say, you know what? Let me let you go. I gotta go walk my goldfish. I'm gonna call you.
Right.
You just making up any kind of shit to get off the phone.
My giraffe needs to take care of.
Right. You know, and it's real because they don't realize, okay, I got this hot second, and I'm going to give you this hot second. Right. Make it count. Yes. Don't just, so how's your day?
Right.
Okay, it's good.
It's good.
Like,
because
follow the energy.
Yeah. My husband, so how you feeling? I'm good. Then so how you feeling today? I'll be like, dude, I'm good.
Yeah, you just ask for that. What you want? Right. Get to the point.
Yes.
Get to the point.
There's a comedian,
you don't want to be rude about it.
Yeah, there's a comedian that, I said R.I.P. His name's Patrice O'Neal. And he had this thing where he's like, man, sometimes my girl's stories are just something else. Yeah. Sometimes I ask her to tell me the end of it first. And if I like it, like if she said, and he got shot.
Yeah, but okay,
let's go.
Yeah, but it's true. It's like call with a purpose, not just not out of routine.
Yeah.
You know, routine says, let me call and check in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you're going to do that, hey, I'm just checking in on you real quick. You good?
Right.
And then short and sweet. Because then it brings more meaning.
Absolutely.
I feel like instead of saying, how you feeling?
Right.
How you do? To me, it's like the inquiry that's already pre-written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
feel
just-
good.
And you're throwing a line. You're just
Check.
throwing like,
Yeah,
Right.
like
Someone you're calling
check.
tech support, and they're like,
Yeah.
all right, did you unplug the router?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you unplug this?
Right.
Right. You
Okay,
know?
you good? All right, I'll see you later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, I think for me, I realize when my husband's like, I need some attention, because then he gets an attitude.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotcha.
Mine
straight
too.
up attitude with the way you answer me.
Yeah.
Short.
It's
Short
very
with
short.
it. Yeah.
The energy be like, for real, like he knows, okay, if I'm laying in the bed sleep, then I hear all kinds of,
Yeah.
like, you're trying to wake me up.
We're gonna disturb this piece.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
door, instead of the door closed, like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
that, it's like,
Right.
It's too much extra. Too
yeah,
much
you
extra.
know, that I
Yeah.
can hear you and then I can feel you. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You made a really good point earlier when you were saying that it looks fun, so therefore it's not hard work.
Yeah.
Because like anytime I'm having to do my own like social media for like the events that I do, it's like, you know, people popping bottles and they're shooting fireworks
true.
and having a big old
That's
party.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
And it in my mind, I'm like, she thinks I'm just out here just having a party.
Having a fucking
you
good
know?
time.
I ain't gonna lie. If
Yeah.
I was you, I'd be thinking
Yeah,
that too.
and
I'd be
it-
like, so we partying for real.
And sometimes it's difficult because I'll do like even like weddings, and I can get that sense through a text message, and I'm over here like, hey, we celebrating love over here.
Right,
And
right.
this text message is like, why you ain't talking to me this? I'm like,
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I got to put on like my
You got
happy
to.
hat and be
Yes.
like, hey.
Because they don't care what you went through when driving up.
No.
Yeah.
You got to put on for
Yeah.
them. Same
Yeah.
thing in the salon.
Absolutely.
They don't care what
Absolutely.
you was arguing
Yeah,
with
make sure you get the
AT&T
hair
walking
right, like,
in.
yeah.
You got
Yeah.
to come in with
Yeah.
the, hey, girl. Ooh, yeah,
How
what
you
we-
doing?
Yeah, what we doing today?
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
put on.
Yes.
And I think when I had a really in-depth conversation with her about that, I think it was like when a light bulb came on. And I think it's where I've had to get used to, like, over the years, be better at being in uncomfortable situations. Like I've had to get better
that's a
at
good
that.
one. That's good.
What does
Because
that look like?
Because I think it's where like we wait too much. Like we're good at compartmentalizing and keeping things in till we like blow up
Yeah.
on certain
I'm very
things.
good at that.
And I'm really glad you guys talk about, you know, getting that therapy check to be just to let it out. on there.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it doesn't blow up in a bad at the worst time.
Right.
And so for me, it's where I'm like, okay, let's just nip it in the bud now. Because it's like, baby, I love you.
Right.
If you're really feeling like this, let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Be transparent about it.
Be transparent.
We
Right.
got to.
Yes.
Right.
And usually afterwards, I get that weird kind of cringe in my elbows. So I'm like, I'm about to say some shit, and it's gonna
It
be
ain't gonna go right.
It's gonna be drama in this Mexican restaurant for a couple minutes. Like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
But it's where I'm like, okay. Afterwards, like we're good.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, we really got it off our
Got it
chest.
off.
And I think over the past couple years, it's been just being more just blunt with everything.
Vocal with it.
Still in a way that's not like aggressive or just be like, all right, bitch, this is what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, like, look, we really got to talk about
Right.
this because if we don't get this situated now, it's
Right.
going to become a bigger problem later.
Right.
Right.
And I don't want that to be why we're not together
Yes.
or we're like hating each other for weeks on end. It's like, let's just talk about it now.
Yeah.
Let's be uncomfortable, but let's figure out a solution after that.
So would you
From
say
there.
it's like the approach is very important?
Very.
You know, the
Very.
presentation.
We talk about that all the time.
The
Very.
presentation.
Yeah.
I
The
think for
delivery.
women, it's about the presentation.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants. No woman responds to the attitudes.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that does not work. It's
Yeah.
like,
and it took me a
almost-
while to figure that out because,
Yeah.
like, for a guy, I can assess the situation, let him know, like, hey, bro, what you doing is it's fucked up, bro. It's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Right.
you should go at it like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, cool, got you.
And then y'all gonna dap up. Y'all, we playing ball.
Exactly.
Cool.
Right.
Exactly.
Us?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, women don't do that.
We don't do that.
Yeah. So it's a way where I've had to learn how to like really bring about the logical sense, and I know it's always a conversation until the end of time of
Right.
we're being logical, we're being emotional. So trying to find like that right balance,
Yeah.
my
Right.
work life emotional balance
Man.
to make that work.
Man.
Right.
And I know I have to go at it with a little bit different approach, but I've seen that if I can say what I got to say to her in a way that she's receptive to it,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
better for the both of us.
Right.
Right.
I'm not trying to just win the battle. Like I'm not gonna win anything. It's just
Right.
I want to
Well, I wish
let
my
her know
husband
why.
understood that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's tough.
He be trying to win. I be like,
I'm
you know,
not-
it's okay if you're wrong. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like we're really on the same team.
Yes.
But like how far
Exactly.
into
It's ego. It's
Okay.
ego. It's ego for us. Like I
Yeah.
do want to win. I'm competitive. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that's what keeps me going even with my work. Like, I want
Mm-hmm.
to be competitive. I want to be the best at what I do.
Right.
And sometimes that can carry over in the wrong aspects of life.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, like, I just got to take a back seat
Right.
a little bit.
Right.
And let's just really kind of look at it, you know, from a third person view and
So
not trying
would
to
you
just
say-
win.
Did y'all go to counseling and stuff,
No.
or would you
No.
say like it came with you maturing
Yes,
more?
I would say that, like, trying to finally being like, man, why is she tripping?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she is bugging.
Because you probably thinking, I'm out here working.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm bringing this
Grinding
money
for us.
home.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
appreciate this. Look
Yeah.
at look at all this. You know what I'm saying?
And I think what happened too is, like, when I brought it up just like that, she's like, look, don't get it twisted. I love the fact that you provide for me, even though, like, I'm not able to work right now. You've been
Yeah.
handling it like the husband I know you are.
Right.
You've been super helpful with everything.
Right.
It's just sometimes you don't spend no time with me
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just here at the house by myself. You know, I'm like feeling like a damn roommate
Right.
in that sense.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
so I was like, "Ooh, I feel like an asshole." It hit me like, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Damn,
Yeah.
okay."
Yeah.
Because I thought in my mind, I'm like, "Man, bitch, you know how hard I've been working.
I've been slinging
I'm
it.
trying to do
I've been
this, do
slinging
this, do
microphones
this,
and
this,
lights
and this."
yeah.
And then once she kind of like hit me with the knockout punch of like, "No, I appreciate all that you do."
Right.
Then I'm like, damn, my argument just kind of went to shit now. Because I
Yeah.
thought she was going to be like, I hate the fact that you were out there
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
But she
Right.
flipped it. Was like, no, I appreciate that you do that.
Right.
But you are missing this important piece.
Right.
And that's spending time with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not even asking you to take me on like extravagant dates. None of that.
Yeah.
You just be just walking around the goddamn neighborhood.
Right.
That's it.
But you know, it's
So is that our love language?
It yeah. Does that fall
is
under
that her
love
love
language?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So wait.
Y'all been putting me on that little language stuff too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my introduction to I need to slow down. I hate when he says that. By the way,
Same.
you're doing too much. You need to slow down.
I'm
that's
like
you might as well just call me a bitch.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not
I
serious.
slow down when I'm
Yeah.
dead.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
sleep is for punks.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so my introduction is when I first got married.
Yeah.
When I married my husband, he had kids already. I had kids already. So when we merged the families, you know, it's the stereotypical the
Right.
mom has the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're merging families, but the girls are with me. So at the time, my girls were 2, 5, and 8. You know, Mackenzie's running around.
Yep.
She
Yeah.
like everybody, you know, whatever. 8, you know, she's about to have the hormones go. So it was already a struggle for him to merge this kind of, you know, bonus daddy
Yeah.
type.
Yeah.
Like a Brady Bunch episode.
I
That's
didn't.
what it is.
Yeah,
Brady Bunch
I didn't
life.
see none of
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
look, we gonna do because what we wanted to do, we wanted to be debt free after we got married, so we didn't charge anything.
That's
We
a good
we walked
plan,
down the
man.
aisle debt free.
Yeah.
So we was both grinding. You know,
Yep.
we just hitting it. You know,
Yep.
pounding it out. So, but then when all the flowers are gone and the lights are gone, I'm back to my normal working 15, 17 hours a day.
Yeah.
I was on Team Hollywood then, so I'm traveling, educating stylists everywhere, and I mean it's probably like twice a month that I'm going. So I never stopped to look at what he was going through. We hitting the ground running until he said, "Man, look." After about the fourth or fifth trip, he said, "Man, look, wait a minute now. You done left me with these. You done left me with these kids.
Yeah.
You done left me with and because I didn't know. One of the times I went, he had to call his niece to come over and help him. He was so overwhelmed. Me, I'm like, but I'm making this. What are
Right.
you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
You know, I'm
exactly.
grinding.
Yeah.
I'm grinding.
Yeah.
You know, you have set. Well, back then his hours were flexible, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying. And I'm like, I just couldn't see it. He had to really like sit me down and be like, no, listen to me. We need time. You need to find. He introduced the word to me like
Yeah.
you need to find a balance. He said, I don't mind. I love that you grind. I love that. That's why that's why part of why I fell in love with you because
Right.
you're driven and da da da
Right.
da. But you need to find a balance. And I'm like, because in my mind, I'm thinking,
I'm sure it hit you like a ton of bricks.
it did.
Because it hit me like that
'Cause
too.
I was
on
like,
that. Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But we making this money. You know, I'm thinking
Right,
about
right.
that. Especially with being an entrepreneur, your money's not promised.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? We could wake
absolutely.
up, a freezer come through Houston, and everybody canceling appointments left and
Yep.
right. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm like,
Yep.
what you talking about? We got to do this, do that.
Yeah.
He was like, no. You need to find a balance. He said, I don't mind. This is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I know I got bonus girls now. But stop for a second. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, I was like, "Oh, you just tripping," because then I really had to like stop and think about it. Like, well, damn, he is not used to this. When I really hit me when he said, "No, I have to call my niece over here." He said, "I just because he's not gonna spank the kids. My kids aren't. They're not bad, but he's not gonna spank them. He was uncomfortable with giving Mackenzie a bath. He was like, "She's just 2, and you just leaving me. We just got married, And I tell Jersey to go do it, and Jersey was in her, how kids are. Oh, I gotta do everything, So it's a lot, and I wasn't thinking about that. So my husband really introduced that to me, and he is the one that always says, "Hey, we ain't went out in a while, we need to do this, we need to do that." And now our schedules are really like
crazy.
bumping. Yeah, because he works nights. So it's always like passing the baton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I'm leaving for work. He just pulling in.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I had to make a conscious effort to get out of that and make the time and send, send an emoji, send a heart emoji. I'm thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? Because my mama, when my parents got divorced, my mom worked at the post office. She was working 6 days a week. She was out the house by 5 a.m. She wasn't coming home to 8 p.m. By the time I was in high school, my brothers had moved out and they were gone. I was in the house by myself. I was just used to the working parent. My dad held down 3 jobs.
Same. I think that's kind of where, like with her, it was like a big family.
Yes.
They're used to this kind of camaraderie between each other. I was more like a latchkey kid.
Exactly.
Like my dad worked all the time.
Exactly.
And then when he was done, my mom would work all the time.
That's it. That's
immigrant
it.
parents trying to handle business, trying to get all this stuff going.
Right.
So I was used to like
that was
being
normal.
by
That was normal.
That was
for
my
you.
normal.
Yeah, me too.
And so it took her some time to be like, you're just not gonna call me and stuff like that. And I go, it's not that I want to ignore you.
Right.
I'm just so used to doing my own shit.
Yeah.
Right.
That my tunnel vision is like this, but it's not to like maliciously hurt you.
Right.
It was just I'm used to being a latchkey kid. I'm used to just being by myself.
Right.
So I heard you say like, now she's not working and stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, because let me tell you.
We got tea, rum. Let's go.
Yes, we do.
Honey.
You said take a sip.
Honey. I mean, I remember. Honey, don't be mad, honey.
Don't be mad.
But there's a time in my inner self
do you see the hesitation here?
because for me,
Yeah.
sicking out. What?
Yeah.
Fractured leg. I'm still
Propped up on the chair. Yeah.
Going to work.
Yeah.
Don't feel good. Still going to work.
Me
Like,
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So for me, it's like a zero. Like, what? You sick?
Yeah.
And so there were times like like when he had surgery or whatever,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
I found myself
I've had
after a while, like kind of almost like.
I know.
Almost like, man, I'm getting up
Yeah.
with my little bit of sleep, and then
It's
you
kind of like
up
that
and then
man.
just like,
It's like that man.
yeah, the
up
man
type.
down thing.
But it's where I think where it's a little bit different. But I totally agree because I felt that internally.
Yeah,
and
like,
usually,
it's not saying that it's right.
if I feel it in my gut, it's pretty much how I
pretty
really
much-
feel.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We tend, and I would say on a female side, you express it. Sometimes we put a filter on. And don't really say what we feel, but we feel it in our gut.
See, and that's
so,
opposite for me and my husband.
Yeah.
I put a filter on, and I don't say anything.
Yeah.
He is vocal.
Yeah,
He gonna let me know.
I think it might be just because, like, entrepreneurially, like how we are,
Right.
Like
Yeah,
we kind of
okay.
have that kind of
I can
skill
see
set
that.
of doing that. If
Yeah.
someone's not used to that, because like with her, she's like, I'm used to like stability of like corporate world because she was doing that for the longest time.
Okay.
So she was getting her own, and I think the challenge was the fact that she's not able to do that. And like the city that she's in at the time,
Right.
it made it more difficult because she's like, I've been there, I've hustled, I've done what I had to do. Single mom, kids,
Yeah.
no daddy ever. I'm over here trying to handle
Exactly.
business,
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like relinquishing that power now, and so sometimes that subconsciously happens where she's
Yeah.
like, I know I can do that still, but my body just ain't.
Right.
It's just not there. And then sometimes for me, so it's kind of a combination where she gets those feelings, and then I don't talk to her. And then she starts throwing these jabs, and then I'm like, why don't you just go to work?
Yeah.
That's really what I want to say.
No, for real. Like,
No.
That's really what I want to say
Yeah,
sometimes. But then I'm like, okay, wait a second. She's done it because if she was just a loser,
Right.
we wouldn't even be together to
In the
begin
first
with.
place.
In the
Absolutely,
first place,
absolutely.
And it was where like she was getting it when we got married, but then things happened
Right.
with that. And then with us now, like our kids are, they're all grown, they're all adults now. But it's where sometimes those feelings of
Johnathan,
like,
you do not look like you have adult children.
When I met her, I got the deluxe package.
You did
Okay,
tell me that.
come on, deluxe.
I love that.
I got the deluxe
You did
package.
say that. 'Cause I'm like,
Got the deluxe. I got the deluxe package,
I love it. I love it.
which taught me a lot with that too.
Yeah. So you can relate.
Yeah.
To my husband. About
Yeah, and it was where I'm like, damn, okay.
I think all
you
of our
got the
husbands.
kids. Yeah, it's a different. Yeah, it was definitely it was something to get adjusted to.
Yeah.
I have a question for y'all. I'm actually curious
Come on.
about it.
Introducing.
My name is
got Alec over
Alexander.
here.
I'm
Yes.
the new podcast engineer. I'm the new secret voice.
Yes. Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Y'all were talking about having filters, how like some people in the relationship, Jonathan's the one that has the filter.
Yeah. Right.
His wife is going to be the one to express something. You said you're the one with the filter, your husband is something. So do y'all think it's like a yin and yang thing? Do you think that's important in like compatibility for there to be like one person who's the more expressive person? Do you think two people that have that filterish personality would work together?
I got a short
or-
answer on that, Alexander. The short answer is yes, if.
Yes.
Or what is it? Yes, and.
Yeah.
Yes, if both people recognize that.
Yes. Agreed.
Because if you don't admit that you have a filter or you putting your guard up, then we're still going to have a problem.
Yeah.
I think the first thing is accountability and accepting that, you know what?
That's
I
a
need-
big one right there.
Right.
Accountability.
Like I'm very
Yes.
vocal. I might need to tone down when I'm delivering my emotions. Or you know what? I do put my guard up and I internalize and I hold back. Maybe I need to work on that.
Yeah.
Then it's a little more accepting from the partner, and then we can work on that. And then I can call you out on say, hey babe, you doing it again.
Yeah.
You putting that filter up, or hey babe, that delivery, you can get more bees with honey.
Yeah.
All right now, and then they
Yeah.
can, and then it becomes a habit. So yeah, and that's my
I
short
would say-
answer.
My short answer is, I don't think two of the same people will never work.
Yeah.
I would never, because that's like if I'm an introvert and you're an introvert, we introverting together, so we just sit around there and like, what we doing? Like, what's
got
poppin'?
a
You know what
loading
I'm saying?
screen on the top of your head.
Like,
Yeah, when we gonna get to this?
Yeah.
What
That's kind of
always-
what I was thinking.
Yeah, like what always works in relationships is the opposites.
Yeah.
Opposites have to come together because where I'm weak, you're strong.
We can compliment
And
each
then
other.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
where I'm wrong, you right, and,
Yep.
and vice versa. You know, so
Yeah.
for
Yep.
me, it's like
Yep.
I
agree.
feel like I'm more of a man, whatever. I'm very more like psst, okay,
Yeah.
and this too shall pass.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like the opposite
Where
of-
my husband.
Yeah.
It's like if he mad about right here.
Listen, we're gonna be right there.
He
right there.
stuck right there until he gets it resolved.
That's it.
Where me, I'll be like, today's a new day. Blah, blah,
Yeah, we
blah,
are very
blah, blah,
different,
blah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got a
And
short
so-
fuse. I got long fuse.
Yeah, you know.
Very,
So
very
for me,
different.
I'm more of the passive. He's more of like, no,
Yeah.
I feel some type of way, and I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then when he talk about it, I be like,
Yeah. But to
my
your-
mama told me to
but
pick
to
my
your
battles.
point where you were like,
My mom
Yeah.
told me to pick my battles.
I
You
pick
know
my
what I'm saying?
battles,
Is it, even Dr. Sam, when we're in therapy,
Oh, yeah.
she's like, we have to think about, if I say this,
yeah.
is it going to be worth the because we all know when we about to say some stuff and it's going
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
going to light up something.
Right.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Right.
Your plans are going to change tomorrow.
Listen, gonna be some furniture moving.
Transparent, like me and my honey got into it on our anniversary.
Yeah.
I've had that.
I mean, when I say it was
Yeah.
the worst performance ever.
On whose part?
Right.
On whose part, sister?
Both of us. But we were both dead ass wrong.
Y'all was
Dead-
singing. See?
I mean, like, when you get into it with somebody and you, after the fact, you like, damn,
I ain't really have to say that.
how did I even put myself in a position that you shamed of your own self?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shame. That was shame.
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
shame.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, but we had plans to go to dinner and a movie, y'all. And we still went to dinner and a movie and said that one word
You
to
know
each other.
what? I cannot.
Not
I've
one.
had that.
We
Ooh.
sat there
I took her to
and
a
ate.
nice dinner too, and I'm
Yeah,
like
we was at a
Serious?
nice restaurant, child.
talking shit before
You
we
know?
drove in. Talking shit before we drove into that damn restaurant.
See, and me, it'll be me like I don't even want to go no more. It's
No,
done.
like
the
we didn't
the
talk.
night's done.
We didn't talk in the car.
Yeah.
We got out the car. We went in the restaurant. I'm like, can I get a shot, please? Because no, I need one more. And then I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
He on his phone.
He on his phone.
Oh.
He watching the game.
Yeah.
And so we ordering food, went to the movies. Not one word, y'all.
you-
Drove all the way back home. Not one word.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Come look, Alexander. Like, wait a minute. Yeah.
I have a buddy who actually, him and his girlfriend, y'all may think this is crazy, but him and his girlfriend, they actually will, if they get into an argument, they will.
Mr. Fletcher will swear up and down. That is not what I said. I be like, are we on the same planet?
yes.
That is exactly what I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you okay?
I think when my husband see me cry for the first time, he was like, what? Like,
That is the toughest thing for me to even see my girl cry.
I think he was saying, "Dang, you got tear ducts."
Right. Do you agree with happy wife, happy life, or happy spouse, happy house?
My thing's happy man, happy relationship.
Damn.
In that sense. Now, I know.
See, he always be taking it to the next damn level.
Because anytime I've heard that statement, it's where you're saying it as like you're feeding a line to just make her happy. It's never from like an equal place. It always feels like you're just negotiating with the terrorist.
If you want to be on the show or you have a show idea, email us at transparencyinthechair@outlook.com, or you can visit our website at transparencyinthechair.hair. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but watch our full episodes on YouTube. Transparency in the Chair, y'all. Let's get transparent.
Make everything collide. Put all your stress aside and let the music take you anywhere like tide. Cause it's me they calling the real loco. Mass play when I on the floor. Galvin over and touch their toe. Everybody